everybody that's lying on the beach, please remember, you are in breach of the public health order if you are not wearing your mask. Please put your mask on, otherwise fines will apply. Also remember, social distancing is vital. We're not out of this mess yet, and if you are outside of the 5-kilometer LGA, again, you are in breach of the public health order. Thank you for complying, and thank you for helping us to keep the LGA safe.
Thank you for complying and being mindless sheep following up made-up decrees that have no scientific backing, or else low IQ jackboot thugs will come and steal your money or beat the crap out of you. Thank you for complying. She could have just said that. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Ukadowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of freaking lunacy is happening in this world, especially with duplicitous, hypocritical double standards that we're going to be exposing in this video, along, of course, with very troubling signs for you and the average Joe out there that is going to be facing a lot of government regulation that is sure as hell going to create a lot of economic havoc. There's a lot to cover surrounding the Met Gala, which I think is perfectly represented by this photo, with an out-of-touch mafioso government criminal literally wearing garments that talk about equal rights, as she isn't forced to wear a face muzzle, a face diaper, a face mask like her loyal servants behind her who are forced to do so. Talk about equal rights, as perfectly represented by this Getty image that is the absolute true representation of the larger travesties of injustice happening right now. Now, very interestingly, Nicki Minaj came out publicly before the Met Gala and said that she could not attend and chose to not to attend this elitist confab because they demanded that people take a medical procedure to be a part of their self-congratulatory celebrations. With Nicki Minaj saying she will decide to take this procedure on her own and not because of this elitist gala. And, of course, after she's done enough research, which, again, is the right thing to do for yourself and your future medical decisions. Only you know what is right for you as an individual, and you should take some time in order to evaluate what is good for you and what is not. And she also, in her tweet, told everyone to wear a mask, and then later on in the night went on to talk about her cousin in Trinidad, who had a friend who had a very weird reaction to this procedure. Again, we don't know if any of this is true. This hasn't been independently verified. This is one person's experience through a cousin's friend, which again, not really the best reliable source of information here, to be quite honest. But it is important to note here that some people have been having adverse reactions to this procedure. That, of course, is true. Whether this specific case that Nicki Minaj brought up is true or not, it paints a more confusing, unsure picture. But this is her own personal experience, which the mainstream media decided to take on and viciously slander and attack her on comments that she didn't even make. Joy Reid of MSNBC launched the first attacks, and then Nicki Minaj answered back by highlighting a former old tweet by Joy Reid about how she personally didn't trust the procedure herself, along, of course, with other controversies surrounding Joy Reid and her very troubling previous posts. And that was a pretty impressive clapback there. The Daily Beast, Yahoo News, USA Today also continued their attacks against her, which Nicki Minaj cited as absolute lies. And a lot of normies are finding out a lesson about how the mainstream media actually works today, especially with their latest hysterical meltdowns and unethical behavior surrounding this issue, which truly is being done in an unprofessional matter. Already, the situation surrounding this topic is so mixed up with disinformation, with propaganda, with emotional abuse, and we don't need more of it. We need honest, clear, real conversations about the issues that aren't mirrored an absolute nonsense. And that statement should cut both ways. But the bigger lesson that we should understand here is that a lot of the mainstream media are a bunch of unethical, pathological liars that will do anything for a buck. It's also perfectly represented by the New York Times just recently stealth editing their report on Hunter Biden's laptop, which they did an absolute disservice on when the story originally came out on. They're trying to cover up this disservice, while other media organizations, if you could even call them that, like The Guardian, are literally gobbling down government bureaucratic slime down their mouth holes and regurgitating it to you, as The Guardian just announced that Dr. Fauci is the, quote, most I can't even say it. The words on the screen, I'm not even going to say it, but my goodness. The media is supposed to hold the government accountable, not literally act like they're fluffers. And that's what we believe in, and it could be why partially we were demonetized as an independent media organization. And hey, because of that, we launched a really awesome t-shirt store, which you could get exclusive gear that will most likely be more of a sensation than what we saw at the Met Gala yesterday. Seriously, if you're looking for shirts to start up a conversation, to potentially get you in trouble, to maybe kick you out of venues, thebestpoliticalshirts.com is the place to go. We have so many shirts. I bet you will love one. We also just launched our stainless water bottle that highlights the different levels of let's just say fun you're having drinking whatever beverage you choose. And you can get this exclusive stainless water bottle only on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Again, we have a lot of them, including also phone cases, sweaters, Joe Biden sniffing your socks. And if you bought some of the merchandise and you want to be up on our website, you could hide your identity if you want to, and you could send us your photo on info@wearechange.org. Yes, we are actually checking emails. If you want to message us on info@wearechange.org. You want to send us some photos, you want to be on the website, send those as well and be a part of the larger community and our unofficial uniform out there to the general public, still spreading messages that would most likely get you censored if you express them online. You can express them at the grocery store and many other public places, at least for now. Also, later on today, we will be releasing another video on lukeuncensored.com surrounding some of the bigger protests happening, along, of course, with some of the numbers that do deserve to be talked about in a critical fashion, especially from the latest article that just came out from The Atlantic and the latest numbers coming in from Israel that should have everyone concerned. Again, we're going to be talking about this topic only on lukeuncensored.com because if we talked about it here, we would risk the future of this channel. So I hope to see you later on today on lukeuncensored.com. Now, a lot of people last night and today were all talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her dress at the Met Gala that literally said tax the rich, which is pretty rich at a venue that charges $30,000 per ticket, as of course the poor people are kept outside and the servants are forced to wear masks while everyone else part of the establishment does not have to. Dave Portnoy made a very interesting comment about this, saying, quote, tax the rich, but first I'm gonna go have the time of my life partying with them all at the most extravagant, over-the-top party of the year that is essentially a celebration of richness. And he brought up some important points here. Other people are bringing up the fact that AOC still has a abuela in poverty that she is denying donations to going to, who, poor lady, can't even have a working roof over her head. We could also point out how AOC announced that she will keep wearing masks indoors, and of course didn't do so when her servants were forced to. We could even point out how her attending this gala results in her getting a $30,000 gift, which if she had to pay taxes on would owe $9,600 to the federal government for just attending. But I don't even want to go there because those are just some circumstantial points that have nothing to do with the actual points that I do want to focus on, and that are Democratic policies that are either on the books or planned to be on the books soon, that soon will be, quote, taxing you, regulating you, controlling you, and making sure that any potential for you to possibly even become rich is being eviscerated by AOC and her Democratic Party with the policies that they have implemented and they are putting forward. In New York, along with California, Democratic hotspots, top earners in those states could face 60% tax rates. 60% of the money that they made would be, quote, redistributed to the federal government. This, of course, with possible rising corporate tax rates. Under the House Democratic bill that AOC supports, that is a $3.5 trillion spending bill. Again, they're planning on raising the top corporate tax rate from 21% to 26.5%. Along with this, the federal government is also announcing that the IRS will be now keeping track of all accounts with at least $600 in transactions, which banks are going to be forced to comply with and report them to the IRS, which would now force banks to report transaction data for any account with at least $600 that they are holding, which again is all a part of this $3.5 trillion budget, which predominantly will make sure that poor people can't commit any, quote, tax evasion. You made $600, the government wants their cut. And that's how they're going to be paying for all of this, with more taxes and regulations on you, the poor people. Congress also just passed new taxes, new regulations on the gig economy, which lowers minimum exemptions, with more people in the gig economy being taxed now, which is going to be bringing in billions of dollars of additional tax revenue to the state. You made $600, you made $1,000, you made $2,000, the federal government is going to get their cut no matter how little you made, as they're now even proposing new estate taxes that, of course, will punish anyone when they have a relative that passes away and transfers over anything worth of value to another person, with specifically new proposals that hit people with smaller estates, whether businesses, properties, or any amount of wealth that is being transferred from a loved one when they pass to their relatives, to their family members. The government wants more of a cut of it, which is absolutely freaking ridiculous. You got involved in cryptocurrencies, you got involved in a decentralized, independent banking system that allows people to have full autonomy over their finances without any micromanaging, without any regulations. Well, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren wants that to stop immediately, as she is calling for more regulations on an industry that has lifted more people out of poverty since the invention of the internet, as she is calling for more rules, more regulations surrounding cryptocurrencies, which of course overwhelmingly will punish individuals from having any kind of economic prosperity outside of the already rigged system where many multinational corporations get to do whatever they want. They get to avoid whatever taxes they want. And AOC and her party are literally proposing rules and regulations that will punish you, not the rich, but will tax everyone else. And it doesn't just stop there with taking away your wealth. They also want to take away your ability to read, to listen, to be able to hear information that they deem unacceptable, as Elizabeth Warren is even demanding that Amazon censor books. Yes, this is the point that we are at right now, as of course the most powerful people in this world became that much richer since last year, mainly because of Democratic locked down policies that punished small businesses, that eviscerated their ability to act in the market, while big top level corporations like Walmart, Costco, Target, and other big box stores, including, of course, Amazon, were able to do whatever they wanted. They were able to skirt the rules. They were able to stay in business, while, of course, your local mom and pop business were shut down by heavy-handed Democrats, whose answer to creating economic havoc is printing more money, which is creating record-high inflation levels that has already seen the price of gasoline go up 42.7%. Used cars have gone up 31.9%. New cars, 7.6%. Electricity, 5%. Food away from home, nearly 5%. Transportation, the same. Apparel, the same. All around, 5%. And as we know, if we're out there in the real world, those numbers are usually a lot higher than they're reported to even be. That's the party of tax the rich. And What are they going to be doing with this taxes? Well, they're going to be handing it over to the Taliban, giving them fully automatic weapons and, quote, new humanitarian aid, as the United States just announced that they're sending $64 million into Afghanistan, which is in the hands of the Taliban, which that money is going to go into. Yes, that's where your taxes are going, and if they're not going to the Taliban, they're going to the coffers of the military-industrial complex that is literally robbing this country blind, or, of course, Big Pharma. Huge industry there that's creating more billionaires than any other industry right now. Taxing the rich is a cruel joke from a party that is hell-bent on keeping you poor. And when they do get their pound of flesh from you, what do they do with it? They redistribute it to their corporate buddies and overlords that truly do call the shots. That's what I personally think is happening here. If you think I'm right, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative. It is more important than ever. Because you guys do that, I'm still here. If you guys weren't doing that, I wouldn't be here. And it's very easy. Double click, copy, paste, random person. You don't even have to know them. You don't even have to talk to them. Just send it to them. And because you do that, I am still here. If you disliked anything, dislike this video. I appreciate the constructive criticism. I appreciate the realness. I got one more video still in me. I got a lot to express in an unfiltered, uncensored way on lukeuncensored.com. I hope to see you later on there today. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.